everybody, and welcome to our third VEXIQ skills-only event of the WV Robotics Alliance season. We're kicking things off today with 4 back-to-back teams from Washington, D.C., all from Creative Minds International. Our first team up is 47764A Griffins. Starting off with a driver skills run. They're about halfway through their 1 minute time. It looks like they've completed a teal row and 2/3 of an orange. No stacking yet. I think that's helping here if they have that capability. They're going to switch drivers. They've got about 20 seconds left on the clock. Looks like they're going to move on from that center orange row and try and clear up purple. About 10 seconds left on the clock to see how many more points they can get before their time expires. Again, this is their first run of 3, and only the best of those 3 will count towards their score. 3, 2, 1, and that looks to be time on their first run. We'll take a score and be back in a few moments with their... Right, and we're back for the Griffins' second driver skills run. They're quickly going to score that first steel riser in the bottom left corner. Then they're going to work their way up the left-hand side of the field, try and complete the row. They completed 1 teal row in their first run for a total of 9 points. And now they're going to work their way down to that back left corner. It looks like they're shifting their attention to the orange risers for now, though. Still about half of their time left on the clock, so we'll see what path they take to finish out this round. They switch drivers with about 25 seconds left. Working on getting that teal riser's base flat inside that back left goal. The risers have to be completely in the goals and flat on the ground to count. Looks like they're happy with that placement. They're going to back up to the orange row. Just a few seconds left on the clock. We'll see if they can eke out a few more points. And that's time. We'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
And the Griffins kick off their final driving skills run. I need to make sure I'm looking at the right screen. There we go. Looks like they quickly scored that teal riser in the bottom left corner, following a similar path to their previous runs. They're going to try and score the second and then back up into the orange to get that middle row kicked off. Ooh, looks like they're adapting a little bit. Tweaking the placement of that middle teal riser and moving on the back left corner to complete the row. Teams get 1 point for each riser in a goal, 3 points if they complete a row of like-colored risers. And then, we haven't seen it yet today, but if they complete, inside of a completed row, a stack of 3 like-colored risers, they get 30 bonus points. So they've completed that teal row, and with a few seconds left, they're going to try and work their way down the center, score orange as well. And that's time. We'll take a few minutes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our next team up is Team M&M. That's 47764D, also from Washington, D.C. They're starting off with a driver skills run here. Looks like they're going to work on the purple row first. They're using, seems to be an H drive that allows them to slide sideways using those Omni wheels with rollers on them. So they line up and then just slide sideways to their next set of risers. They've got a little bit more than half their time left. They've looked to have scored the 2 far purple goals, and now they're going to try and make a stack as they complete that row. They've lifted up the 2 pre-assembled risers. They have the 3rd underneath. They're going to try and scoot that base riser into scoring position and then drop the 2 on top and back away. Looks like they got a little bit hung up, but that's all right. That's why they get 3 attempts. They've got a few seconds left if they want to try and eke out a few more points. But it looks like they've completed a purple row there on the left-hand side. And we'll be back with a score and our next run in just a few.
2, 1.
And we're back with Team M&M's second driver skills run of the day. Again, they're going to start in that far purple corner, push it in, and then slide sideways using that Omni wheel drivetrain. They quickly score the second riser, and they're going to work on securing those pre-stacked risers again. Expect them to follow a similar path to last time. They're going to switch drivers right after securing things. The top one falls off, but Still plenty of time left on the clock to pick up points. Trying to get those two extended red pieces on the front of their robot on either side of the riser to corral it into place. Still plenty of time left on the clock. And they push that base riser over into the goal. We'll see if they can get it flat down and back away. That's time. We'll be back with another run.
3, 2, 1, go.
And Team M&M starts off their third and final driver skills run of the morning. Working on that purple row as we've seen before. Slide the first riser into place, then slide their robot sideways. Second one goes into place quickly as well. Use those pre-stacked risers. That's a strategy we've seen a lot of this season. It's a lot faster to use the risers that are already stacked than to try and stack them on your own. Time is a premium. This time they've secured both risers up in the air. We'll see if they can move sideways into position. Plenty of time left on the clock. Lining up the red corralling pieces. The base riser looks to be in place. Just a few seconds left to try and cap it off. Very close.
3, 2, 1.
And Team M&M starts off our first programming skills run of the day. Looks like they score one riser very quickly.
And so that's about as far as it goes because I didn't have much coding done. If I had more time, I could have made it grab forward more.
But you scored the 1 point?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our next team up is Chameleons E. That's Team 47764E from Creative Minds International Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. Starting off on the teal side of the field for their first driver skills run. Looks like they've got the first base riser in place. They're going to try and add a stack on top of it. They line it up and back away. That's 3 high. They need to complete the row to get those 30 bonus points. They've got plenty of time left on the clock to do it, though. They're going to move their way up the left-hand side of the field. Wiggle the next teal riser into place. About 15 seconds left. They are on the far side of the field, trying to complete that row. So again, each riser is worth 1 point. A completed row of like-colored risers is 3 bonus points. And a stack inside of a row is 30. We'll take score.
3, 2, 1, go.
And the Chameleons are back for their second driver skills run of the morning. Again, they're going to start in that bottom left teal corner. They did successfully complete a stack and a row in their last run. Holding on to our top score of the day so far with 39 points. They're going to try and repeat that performance. They've got a base riser. Stack is on top. They back away. Might have been a little faster that time. They're going to move their way up the left-hand side of the field and try and complete that teal row. They switch drivers around 30 seconds left. One more riser to go to complete that row. Looks pretty close to being in. We'll have to check that out in more detail after the run. A few seconds left. They're going to try and eke out a few more points, improve on their 39. Plenty of time left to do that. And that's time. We'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few moments.
2, 1, go.
Chameleons are back with their final driver skills run of the morning. In their second run, they put up at 39 once again. They're going to try and improve on that very good score in run number 3. Got the base riser in place in the bottom left corner. Secured that pre-stacked double. And they carefully back away. Right before switching drivers. Now they're going to try and complete that row. Middle riser is in place. They move to the far end for riser number 3. That is time. We'll take score and be back in just a few minutes with our next run.
3, 2, 1, go.
And our next team up is Chameleons B, that's 47764B from Creative Minds International in Washington, D.C. They're going to start off on the orange row in their driver skills run. Looks like that first riser is pretty close to being in. They're going to take a few seconds to make sure that it is. Then they're going to move down the field to that center goal. This one goes in quickly and move on to the end of the row. Again, it's 1 point per riser, 3 points for a completed row of like colored risers, 30 points for a stack of 3 in a completed row. Looks like that orange riser isn't quite in, but they're going to move over to the teal row anyway, with still about 15 seconds on the clock. Moving down the left-hand side of the field, this next teal riser goes in quickly. Just a few seconds left. We'll see if we can get a couple more points. The third teal riser is in as time expires. We're going to take score. We'll be back in a few minutes with
2, 1.
After a quick reset, we're back with driver skills run number 2. Again, they're going to start in that orange row. Pick up the first riser, place it into the goal, and move on to the middle of the field. This one goes in quickly as well. Making very good time on this run. Looks like that orange row is almost completed. They're going to go back and tweak the placement of that riser. Ooh, looks like they're going to move on to teal. Still plenty of time left on the clock. About 15 seconds. They're happy with that first teal riser. They move to the middle. That one goes in quickly. A few seconds left to try and complete the row. They back away. They've got a few seconds left. And that's time. We'll be back with a score and their next run.
2, 1.
And the Chameleons are back with their third driver skills run. Again, starting in the orange row. They pick up the first riser, drop it in the goal, tweak the alignment just a little bit before moving on to the middle of the field. Second riser goes in quickly. Now onto this third orange riser. This is turning up a little bit. See if they can get it in this time. It's very close. You're going to spend a couple extra seconds to work on the alignment. That looks good to me, but I'm not a referee. And they quickly move their way down the left-hand side of the field. The first teal riser goes in with just a tap. The second one, a little bit wide, but again, plenty of time left to get it into position. Looks like they're going to move on to this bottom riser. Just a few seconds left. And that's time. We'll take score and be back with our next run in just a few moments. Our next team up is Team 31459A Get Squared. This is our first West Virginia team of the day, a middle school team out of Morgantown, West Virginia. They're going to start on the near side of the field working on those teal risers. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Tip there on the first riser. That's why you get 3 runs. That they still have plenty of time if they choose to go back and try and recover. They're going to move down to the left-hand side here. They're just going to move on, it looks like, work on their pathing, get some practice in for their next couple of runs. This is the second time we've seen Get Squared this season. In their first event a few weeks ago, they put up a total score of 41 points. If they can repeat that, that'll put them on top of our current scoreboard. But I'm sure that they're looking to improve as time expires. We'll take score and be back with the next run in just a few moments. And after a Quick practice run. Team Get Squared is back for their next driver skills run. They quickly push that base teal riser into position. Grab the pre-stacked teal risers, place them on top, and carefully back away. If they can complete this row of teal, that stack of 3 teal risers will give them 30 bonus points. They're about halfway done with their time, so they're going to switch drivers. They place in the next teal riser. That looks like a completed row. I think they're going to try and stack on top of this one, get an additional 30 points. They place it and back away. They've got a few seconds left to try and eke out a few more. Looks like they're going to go for center teal instead of moving on to a different row. They get one on top. They're going to stop that one there. We'll take score and be back in just a few moments, but it looks like this is going to be our... And after a driver skills score of 71, Get Squared is going to move on to their programming skills. Teams get 3 of each type of skills challenge, their best score of each is the one that counts. Those top scores get combined and uploaded to the world skills rankings, where teams can be compared across all regions. We also use those world skills rankings to fill in spots at the state championship. More details on that coming out over the next or so. Looks like they got 2 teal risers in there. The robot stopped moving. Looks like they're going to stop this run a little bit early, so we'll take... Oh no, the timer is still running. During the programming skills challenge, teams can reset their robot to realign it and start the next section of their program. But it looks like they're going to let time run out on this one. So we'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few minutes.
3, 2, 1, go.
And Team Get Squared starts their second programming skills run after their first run. They took a few minutes to change their code and run a couple of tests. Now they're hoping to improve on that score from the first round. Their tests look pretty successful. See if it all comes together. They've got a stack there, but to get those points, they need to complete the full row. Looks like the middle riser is just in. Plenty of time left on the clock. It's a matter of alignment at this point. Looks like this third riser just a little bit wide. They're going to let the robot... No, they're going to pull it back and reset. They've got just a few seconds left. And that is time. So we'll be back with their next run. And we're here with Team 77760C, Team VEXCellent from James Rumsey Technical Institute. They're going to start with a programming skills run. Looks like they're going to be on the near side of the field, starting with those teal risers. Referees will take a closer look, but at first, looks like the first riser is in. That middle riser got a little bit hung up.
What is it doing? What is this? What is it doing?
About 30 seconds left. Looks like the robot has stopped moving. Yep, they're going to stop early. We'll take score and be back with their next round in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
And Team VEXCellent starts their first driver skills run of the day. That programming skills run got them 1 point. Again, every team gets 3 attempts at both types of skills runs, and only the top score counts. So they have plenty of time left in their block to try and improve that score. Over on driver skills, they've scored that first base riser, and now they're trying to stack up on top of it with about half of their time left. They switch drivers. Still working on that stack. Second riser, they release and back away. Just a few seconds left on the clock. And that is time. We'll take score and be back in a few moments. And Team VEXCellent starts their second programming skills run. First riser goes in. Second riser is a little bit wide.
You only got 1 point. Not 1 point. That's it.
All right, and they're going to stop a little bit early again. We'll confirm the score and be back with their next run in a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
And VEXCellent starts their next driver skills run. They quickly score their first riser in that corner. Now they're going to try and stack up on top of it. Second riser slides into position. They back away. Are they going to go for a third, or are they going to move down the row? Looks like they're going for a third. A little more than half their time left. Their arm raises up. They switch drivers. The riser hovering over that first goal. It looks to be in position. They back away, and the tower stays. Now they have plenty of time left on the clock, actually. About 15 seconds. They get the second goal in. It's going to be a huge increase in points if they can place that third riser in complete row. 10 seconds left. Going to try and add a couple more risers, it looks like. 3, 2, 1. And that's time. We'll take score and be back in a few minutes, but it looks like a pretty solid score. And Team VEXCellent starts their final driver skills run of the morning. They quickly score their first riser. Now they're going to work on stacking up on top of it. Again, their highest score right now is 38. It's the number they're going to try to beat. Looks like their second riser is a little bit crooked on the claw. We'll see if they can correct that and build that stack. About halfway through their time, they're going to switch drivers. They drop off that riser, but by dropping it, it actually straightens itself out, so that might help them build the stack. A few seconds left here. They get the second riser up. Third riser's in the air. As time expires, that's going to get them 3 points. And our next team up is 77760A. That's the JRTI middle team. from James Rumsey Technical Institute. They're going to start off with a programming skills run. They're going to work on that far purple side of the field. Looks like they got their first riser in. Now they're moving their way down that side of the field. Can't quite tell from this angle whether that one was in. Based on the reaction, it might be just out. Our referees will take a closer look at that at the end of the run. They don't look happy with that one either, but those risers all look very close. So in their next run, they may go in. About 20 seconds left. The robot has stopped moving. Looks like they're going to stop this one early. We'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back. They're jumping straight into their second programming skills run. First riser looks to be in. Again, our referees will confirm everything after the match. Looks like they get a little bit hung up on that second riser. And over in that far corner.
2, 1, go.
And we're back. Team 77760A starts their third and final programming skills run. First riser looks to be in. The second riser goes just off course, and it looks like it's also going to knock the robot off course, but they're going to let it move on down its path to the third riser. See if maybe this one gets wiggled into the proper place. 30 seconds left. That looks close to me from this far away. Robots stopped moving. This is about where they've stopped in the past. Yes, they're going to cut off this run. We'll take score and be back with driver control runs in just a few moments. And we're going to jump right into driver controlled runs. They're going to work on that same purple side of the field. First riser goes in quickly. Second riser as well. They're quickly moving along to complete this row. They take a second swipe at that one, but they do get it in. Now they're going to move on to the center of the field. Again, it's 1 point per riser, 3 points if they complete a row of like-colored risers, and then if they complete a stack of 3 in that row, they get 30 points. Looks like this team's going to focus on the low game, focus on getting in those completed rows. Plenty of time left to finish their orange row and move on to teal. They back away and leave that orange riser in place. A few seconds left. Just gonna let this one run out, and we'll take score and be back with their next run in a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we're back with their second driver controlled run. In their first run, they completed 2 rows for a total of 12 points. Looks like they're going to take a similar path in this run. Starting on the purple side of the field, the first riser goes in quickly. The second riser goes in as well. Now they're on to number 3. If all of those base risers are in, they very quickly scored 6 points. That's 1 point per riser, and then 3 for the completed row. Now they're going to move down the center of the field, try and complete a row of orange. Looks like their 4th riser is in. Riser number 5 in as well. If they can get this 6th one in to complete a second row, that will equal their last run at 12 points. A few seconds left. Our referees will confirm, but that looks like another 12-point run. We'll be back with their next.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we're back for our final run. Team 77760A. Again, quickly placing those purple risers. Ooh, that one took a tumble, but there are plenty of risers nearby if they want to shift their focus. They're going to move on to the corner goal and get that in place before moving back to the center. lets them better manage that now obstacle in their way. About half of their time left. They've switched drivers. Looks like they're just going to move on to that orange row.
Not in, there you go.
10 seconds left to try and complete this orange row. Brings them up to 8 points. Ooh, that might be a little bit off. We'll take score again. Their highest score matters, so they're sitting on a 12.
2, 1, go.
And we're back with our first team after the lunch break. It's team 1705D, PF Robotics Jr. from PF Robotics Academy in Ontario. The first of our 6 Ontario teams today. They're going to start on the left-hand side, quickly make a stack of 3 teal risers. Now they're going to move up that left-hand side to complete the row. Again, the riser the stack only gives those 30 points if it's in a completed row of the same color. Just about half of their time left, and they're working on stack number 2. Potential for a very high scoring run here, and still plenty of time left on the clock as they line up their 3rd stack. By my unofficial count, that's 102 points. If things stay, they're going to try and slide in a few more orange risers to bring their score up by a couple more. A few seconds left on the clock. That's a run. We'll take score and be back with the next run in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
All right, we're on to driver control run number 2 for PF Robotics Jr. They scored 104 points in their first run. Off to a similar start here with that stack in their first goal. Moving on down the line. They make a stack of 2 that they're going to use to cap off that center goal. Just under half of the time left on the clock. Stack number 2 is in place. This time one of the risers takes a tumble. 15 seconds left. See how they adapt their path. Looks like they might just keep on as planned. Try and get a little bit of practice in with the remainder of their time. And a few seconds left to get a couple of orange risers in. That's the match. We'll take score and be back in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back for 1705D's 3rd and final driver skills run of the afternoon. Taking a similar path to what we've seen so far, using those pre-stacked risers to prepare the score bonus for later. Still sitting on 104 as their high score of the day. Moving at a pretty good pace here in their final run. They cap off goal number 2. Plenty of time left on the clock. They're going to sit that stack down and re-grip it in a better position. Looked like at first it was tilted a bit, but after they used the floor to realign it, they've got a better grip on it. Looks like those risers might be pushed a little bit far. A few seconds left. And that's our match. We'll take score and be back in a few moments with their next run.
3, 2, 1.
And we are back for PF Robotics' first autonomous skills run. They slide sideways to push that first riser into goal. It looks like it might be on the edge. The pre-stack a little bit wide. When they put that second riser on top, though, it looked like it may have knocked the first riser into a scoring position. We're going to let this program keep on running without any resets. Second riser looks to be in. About half of their time left. And they may have completed that row. I don't have a great view from here. Our referees will double check everything at the end of the match. They're going for another stack with the last few seconds of their time. Robot places and backs away. A few seconds left. Our referees will take a closer look at these base risers, but that looks like a pretty solid run to get started. We'll be back in a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're kicking off the second programming skills run of our afternoon. It looks like the first riser went in. Their first run, there were 5 points scored because that first riser was just barely out. But again, that's how you get 3 tries. This time it looks like they've built a stack successfully in the first goal, and now they're going to move their way down their field to the middle. They back up into the wall there briefly to make sure that their robot is squared up. Looks like this riser is in, and now we're on to goal number 3. This time they're going to attempt a second stack of 3. The base riser looks to be in. Robots lined up on that stack. Lift goes up. The risers go on. And they back away, push an orange in as they back away. And that is time. Our referees will confirm the score, and we'll be right back in a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back for our next run, another programming skills run here. They got a 71 on their last run. Looks like that toppled riser. They're not going to quite meet their hopes on this one, but it can still serve as a useful test. Still have the base riser in, so they could complete the row. 30 seconds to go. Second riser goes in to the middle goal. Looks like things get a little bit pinched into their intake there. About 15 seconds left. And that is time. Our referees will confirm the score, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our next team up is the Gearbots from Old Bridge, New Jersey, starting with a programming skills run. We saw them a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago rather, where they put up a combined score of 211. They're currently ranked 58th in the world for middle school skills. And they're going to take a bit of a different path than what we've seen before. They complete a row with 2 stacks on the end, but then instead of spending time building an additional stack in the center, they just move right over to the other side of the field and use the pre-built stacks there to save some time. They've got 3 of those stacks completed as they move on to the next section of their program. Let's see if they can get this last stack completed. With just a few seconds left on the clock, it backs away. We'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1, go.
We're back for the Gearbots' second programming skills run. They scored 76 points in their first run. The center purple goal, the riser, was just a fraction of an inch out of scoring position, so they're going to give it another try. Referees will take a close look at that one after our time expires, but it looks to be close. Ooh, looks like on this third riser, there's a bit of a mishandle. So they're going to move across to the teal side. That purple riser that's tipped over because it was in their robot's possession while they chose to reset. That purple riser is technically removed from play. Looks like things were just a little bit off on this one, but they're 76 from their first run, still our highest programming run of the day, and they still have another run as time is up.
3, 2, 1, go.
And the Gearbots launch their third and final programming skills run of the day. That first base riser goes in, the second as well. Over on goal number 3, that looks like a stack to me. They reset to the other starting position and launch off their teal riser section. Looks like things are a little bit off. Trying to reset here, but they're very low on time. Looks like they're getting one more riser before their time expires. We'll take score and
3, 2, 1, go.
I was muted. The Gearbots start their first driver skills run. They very quickly form that first purple stack. They're going to take a similar path to what they wanted in their programming skills, where they forego a stack in the middle goal and save that time to the teal side. About half of their time left, they switch drivers. Trying to get that teal stack in the far right corner. About 10 seconds left on the clock. They're going to prioritize completing the row. And that is time. We'll take score and be back in a few moments. We're back for the second driver skills run for the Gearbots. Taking a few extra seconds to make sure that their gripper is lined up properly on that purple stack before they move on to goal number 2. This one quickly gets a base riser place, and then they move on. Just about half their time left as they cap off that third goal. About 20 seconds left on the clock as they start to work on the teal side of the field. Looks like their stack takes a tumble there, so they're going to quickly move on to the next goal. Try and complete a row and salvage a few points. Just a few seconds left. That's time. We'll take score and be back with their last run in just a few. And after a quick bit of practice, the Gearbots start off their final run. They very quickly place the first stack on that left purple goal, moving their way across the front of the field. Stack is a bit wobbly, but still on. They're about 8 seconds ahead of their previous pace. They score an orange riser in the center and switch drivers at the 30-second mark. They line that base teal riser, get the stack on top. Still have plenty of time left here in the home stretch, trying to complete one final stack. Just a few seconds left. They place it and back away. We'll take score. We'll be back in a few moments with our next team. I unclicked the wrong mute button. Our next team up is 34107F. You're showing me to the world now, John. 34107F, the St. Joseph Darth Vexers, with their programming skills run. They're having a little bit more success than John and I are on this one, with that first stack completed on the far right goal. They're going to move their way down the field to the center goal. Pop that base riser into position. Now they're going to move on down the field without a reset this time. They run into the far wall and use that to straighten out their robot. Looks like they've completed their row. Now they're going to back up and try and get that orange riser into the center. It looks like it's just a little bit popped up on the edge. That is time. We'll take score and be back in just a few minutes. And the Darth Vexers start their second programming skills run. Place the base purple riser, then reset the robot. In their second motion, they're going to try and place those two pre-stacked risers on top. Looks like they have, ooh, that top one takes a bit of a tumble. They're going to move on to the next portion of their program. The base riser is still in place, so they can still complete a row. Second riser looks to be positioned properly as they move on to the end of the purple side of the field. That third purple riser might be just on the edge, but our referees will take a closer look before we finalize the score. And it looks like that program is done with just a few seconds left on the clock.
Don't touch, guys.
Don't touch. Yeah, don't touch anything on.
And the Darth Vexers start their third and final programming run of the day. Places the purple base riser, a manual reset. This time they've grabbed the purple stack, place it on top, and they back away, leaving the stack in place. Now they're going to do another manual reset. Now the robot's going to make their way down the side of that field and try and complete the row so they can get those 30 stack points. Middle riser looks to be in. The far riser looks to be in. And they're going to back up into that orange riser, try and get an extra point as time expires. The referees will take stock of the field. And back to driver control runs in just a few moments. And the Vexers start their first driver control run on a similar path to their programming skills runs. They make a stack in the far right corner of purple, and then try and complete the row. This is where we start to see a divergence from their autonomous plan. They're going to go for a second stack. Still more than half of their time left. They're making great time. They're going to take a similar path to what we saw from the Gearbots, moving across the field and working on the teal, trying to take advantage of those pre-built stacks instead of losing time making stacks of their own. This looks like a very good run with about 15 seconds left. That is plenty of time. It looks like they've completed a second row and a fourth stack. They're going to try and get some orange risers into goals with the last few seconds on the clock. 2-1, they back away. Our referees will verify, but this looks like a very good run from the Darth. And 141 points in their first driver control run. A very, very solid score to get started with. And they're on a similar pace for run number 2. Their way to the far side of the field, trying to get another stack of purple. This one takes a bit of a tumble. Still an opportunity for a very, very good run. They're going to work their way across the field now.
That's not in. That's not in.
You take a few extra seconds to realign that middle teal riser. Still time to finish this stack. As time expires, they try and get that last run. Take a close look. Another good run. And after a very quick restart, the Darth Vexers are ready for their final driver-controlled run of the afternoon. Still sitting on that high score of 141 points. And they look to be on a similar pace on this one. Still tons of time on the clock as they finish that first row of 2 stacks. Now they work on the teal side. Adjusting needed, but they do still have 15 seconds left as they get stack number 3. Trying to complete one more stack as they finish this row. And a very close.
2, 1, go.
And our next team up is Team 1069K, the Awkward Cats from Colorado. They're going to start on the purple side of the field. Try and herd some of the orange risers into the center goals. Looks like they might have one in that very center. They seem happy with the placement. They're going to move to the far side of the field to place another. That one looks pretty close. Again, they're pretty happy with the placement and with about half of their time left. Things took a bit of a tumble there. We'll see if they can correct it. They've got about a quarter of their time left. And still 2 more runs on top of this one. They shift their focus over to the purple end of the field.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's time. We'll take score and we'll be back with their next run. And the Awkward Cats start their third and final driver skills run of the day. They're going to start again on this purple end of the field. Trying to use that little arm on the front left of their robot to hook the risers and drag them sideways into the goal. And with one extra tap there in the middle, they do score that center riser. Now they're going to move on to the near side of the field. Try and complete that row of purple. Again, it's 1 point per riser, 3 per completed row. And 30 for a stack in a completed row. They start their way down the orange row after completing purple. Looks like they have a chance to complete this row. They're all in. 12 points as time expires. We'll take score and be back in just a few minutes with our next. And the Awkward Cats start their first programming skills run.
Reset it.
They're going to take a reset and give that path another try.
Oh. Wait, reset. Okay, you're okay.
Plenty of time left here on the clock. This time, it looks like they've got a purple-based riser
Okay.
in their robots.
15 seconds.
Looks like they're going to stop it there. We'll take
Okay,
score
wait.
and be back in a few moments. start their second programming skills run of the day. Going for a reset there. I think they're going to make another attempt at that purple corner riser.
It has to line up the purple riser. He's saying.
Here's the other side.
Next team up is Team 60269A, the Flyers from Flynn Elementary School in Charleston, West Virginia. They're starting off with a programming skills run on the teal side of the field. Going for a reset, taking a few extra seconds to make sure the robot is lined up properly. It's better to be accurate than fast in most cases. Just over half of their time left on this run. They're going to take another reset. And their robot leaves starting position once again. Just about 10 seconds left. Looks like they're going to go for a stack on that back left corner. Just a few seconds to go. We're going to stop it there. We'll take score and we'll be back with their next run in just a minute. The Flyers are back with their second programming skills run of the day. This time it looks like that right teal riser is in. It's definitely upright. Plenty of time left on the clock. Still over half of their time left. Expect on this outing, the robot's going to push in the base riser, and then there may be one more reset before they go for the stack. The base riser is in. Looks like they're going to go straight for it. Just about 10 seconds left. Top of the stack is placed and released. And they're going to stop it there. We'll take score and be back in a few moments. And the Flyers start their third and final programming skills run of the day. The far riser is in. Next, they'll drive sideways into the middle riser. They look happy with that placement, and they're going to reset one more time. This time they're going to go for the near goal and maybe a stack on top. Plenty of time left on the clock here. And they're going to stop it there, it looks like. We'll take score and we'll be back with driver-controlled runs in just a few minutes. Flyers start their driver skills runs. Very quickly going for that near side teal goal. The base is placed and they cap it off with the two pre-stacked teal risers. Now they're on to the center goal. Looks like they're going to leave that one unstacked. Move on to that right-hand side to build stack number 2. Just over half of their time left. Looks like they are going to cross to the near side of the field. And they switch drivers and start working on stacks over on this side of the field. The base is in place. And they have capped it off. Just about 10 seconds left. Middle goal is in. And after the drop, they try to just complete the row. Our referees will have to take a closer look at that one.
3, 2, 1,
The Flyers start their second driver skills run. Had a couple of mishaps, but still managed to put up 74 points in their first attempt. They're going to look to build off of that in this run. First stack is placed. As they switch drivers, that second stack topples. Still a completed row and one completed stack over there, though, as they move over to the orange side of the field. They use the side of their robot to shimmy those orange base risers into place. Now they're going to try and complete that row as time expires. We'll be back with their final run in just a few minutes. And we're back with the final driver skills run for the Flyers. Again, they're going to start over on that far teal side of the field. They very quickly place their first stack and then move their way across. The middle goal, the base riser drops into place, and now they're going to move on to the stack to complete the row. They place the stack and move over to the opposite end of the field and switch drivers at the 25-second mark. That riser takes a bit of a tumble. Looks like they were a bit stuck, so they're going to take a reset there. Just about 10 seconds left. They're going to try and complete this row. We'll take score, and we'll be back with our next team in just a few moments.
2, 1.
And we're back with our next team. It's Caution Tape 8390A from Markham, Ontario. We have 5 more teams left to go. 4 of those 5 are from the Caution Tape organization. They're going to start on the right-hand side here, working on those teal risers. They place the first stack, get the center goal, just one base in it, and now they're going to try and stack on the near side corner. And with that stack, they're going to drive across the field. About 20 seconds left on the clock, and work on that purple side. The base is in. And they cap it off with 2 more purple risers, just over 5 seconds to go as they get that center riser in. And as time expires, they're going to put in another base. Take score, and we'll be back with their next run in just a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
And Caution Tape starts their second driver control skills run of the day. Very quickly place the first teal stack. Take a few seconds to line up and place the base riser in the middle goal. And they complete the row, but they're not going to leave until they've completed stack number 2. Now moving across the field, I think they're a few seconds ahead of where they were at this point on the last run, as they start working on the purple stacks. Stack number 1's complete. Goal number 2 is filled. Now a few seconds left to complete stack number 4. Our referees will take score, and we'll be back in a few moments.
3, 2, 1.
And we're off for the third and final driver skills run for Team 8390A. very quickly place the first teal stack and move their way down that side of the field. Looks like they've completed the row. Now they're going to try and add that second stack. 140 driver control points in that last run as they move across the field to the purple risers. About 10 seconds left. As they complete stack number 3. And that's the end of their driver control runs. We'll be back with their next runs in just a few. And Team 8390A kicks off their first programming skills run. It looks like they have the first teal base riser in. They secure the rest of the stack and move it over to cap it off. Now they're on to the second riser. Looks like that middle riser rolls a little bit off the side of their robot. They're going to take a manual reset there.
What? What are you doing? What? 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 Can I sketch this? See if I can.
And it sounds like they're going to call this one early.
2, 1, go.
Our next team up is 1705A. It's the second team today from PF Robotics Academy in Ontario. They're starting off with a driver skills run here, working down the purple side of the field. They quickly complete their first stack, slide sideways to score the second goal. And now they're going to try and stack on the end there to complete that row. Again, the stacks only count if the row is complete. It looks like that one's in. I think that's 71 points so far as they move to the teal side of the field and start building their next stacks. Ooh, looks like that top one took a bit of a tumble. Still a very good run though. A good baseline to start with as they try and complete this teal row with another stack.
7.
5 seconds left. They're going to try and score one orange in the center. 2, 1. A very solid run to start. We'll be back with their score and their next run in just a few.
3, 2, 1, go.
And PF Robotics starts their second driver skills run. 110 points on their first run. Very quickly placing the first purple stack. Sliding sideways into the second. Now wrangling that purple base riser into place. Very clean driving there as they move across the middle of the field with just about half of their time left. This time the cap stays on with stack number 3. Plenty of time left. Still a few seconds left on the clock as they finish their fourth stack. Slide sideways. And if all of that scores.
3, 2, 1, go.
And after a score of 140 points, PF Robotics is back for one more driver-controlled run. It looked like they were very close to eking another one in there for 141. And they're off to a good start on run number 3. First row is complete, and they're going to move across the center of the field a few seconds faster than their last run. About 20 seconds left as they complete stack number 3. Very good pace so far. They're not happy with that placement. They're going to take a couple of seconds to try and realign it. Still time left on the clock. And that's our match. We'll take score and we'll be back.
1, go.
And PF Robotics Jr. is back for their first programming skills run. They
Come on, baby.
slide sideways right off the bat and get that purple base riser into the near side goal.
Up there, come on.
Lifts up the pre-made stack, backs away, and now they're going to go for a manual reset, make sure things are lined back up before moving down the purple side of the field.
Get in.
Goal number 2 seems to be scored. Just over half of their time left, and goal number 3 has a base riser in it as well.
Come around, come on.
30 seconds left, and they pick up stack number 2. It looks a little bit crooked, but maybe they'll just work through it. Ooh, very close.
Okay, Marcus. Okay.
Plenty of time left.
We are gonna pop.
All right, and just a few seconds left in this run. They back an orange riser in. We'll take score and be back, hopefully with another run here in just a moment.
Go.
And 1705A. It's going to squeeze in one more programming run. They put in that base purple riser. Successfully clamp on the stack. Cap it off and reset the robot. Middle riser pops into place. And it looks like that row might be complete.
Come on.
Risers are a little wonky there. They do get it over the top though. Not quite released. Still a solid run, especially with that great driver skills score anchoring it. 10 seconds left. We'll see if they can sneak in another point. At this point in the last run, they put in an extra orange in the center. Looks like it's in. We'll be back in a few minutes with our next team. Our next team up is 8390Z, our second caution tape team from Ontario. They're starting with a driver skills run, quickly capping off that first teal stack. Looks like they are going to build a middle stack. Moving very quickly. Other teams we've seen have skipped stacking in the center, but they may be moving fast enough to make up for it. That second stack is in place, just over half of their time left. They're moving on down to the end of the teal row. And stack number 3 is capped off. They're going to move over to the purple side of the field. Quickly making stacks over there. Just about 10 seconds left. Looks like they're going to go for a completed row on this one. Just a few seconds left to try and finish things off over there in purple. And we'll take score and be back with their next run in just a moment. And 8390Z starts off their second driver skills run. In their first run, they put up 140 points, very close though to completing another stack. Already making good pace on run number 2. Two stacks are in place. They need to complete the row though. Stacks to count as capital S stacks. And they do with stack number 3. Over onto the back side of the field, working on the row. Take a couple of extra seconds there to make sure that things are lined up as they complete stack number 4. Just about 5 seconds left. They move over to the end. Try to cap off the stack as time expires. We'll take score and be back in a few moments. And Team Caution Tape starts their third and final driver skills run of the day. In run number 2, they scored 172 points, managing to complete 5 stacks. Looks like they're going to take a similar path here in run number 3. They've got just over half of their time left as they complete the teal side of the field. Stack number 4 goes up into the air. Still plenty of time left as they try and get that row completed. And that is going to be time. We'll take score and be back with their next runs in a few moments. And after a high driver scores skill of 172 points, Caution Tape starts their programming skills runs. Looks like they're a little hung up there.
Can we forfeit this? Can we forfeit?
They're going to end their first run early. We'll be back with run number 2 here in a few minutes. And after a quick reset, we're back for our second programming skills run. The first teal riser goes right in. And then they line up to pick up the stack of 2 and try and cap it off. And they complete the first stack, start moving their way down to other goals. Center goal gets a riser in it. Looks like they're going to move on to goal number 3 instead of taking time to cap off that base riser.
Alright, forfeit.
And they're going to stop this one early. Looks to me to be about 4 points.
3.
And 8390Z starts their final skills run, starting off with the teal riser in that corner. It looks to be in for me, but my view's not the best. The referees will take a closer look after the end of this run. Looks like they got 2 risers on that left goal. And they're going to move on to the middle. Riser number 3 probably in. We'll see if they can cap off the end of this row with a stack. Looks like their gripper went just a little bit wide. It could still recover. An unfortunate bounce there.
Yeah, this is another forfeit.
And they're going to end their final run early. And Team 839Z, Caution Tape Zulu, is our next team up. They're starting off with a programming skills run. They very quickly place that first purple stack on the far left corner and zip their way sideways across the field, completing the row on their way. It looks like they're going to try and complete a stack before they move over to their next objective. But that stack takes a bit of a topple. They are going to move their way back across the center of the field and try and cap off goal number 2, just under half of their time left. Looks like after placing it, they're going to take a manual reset and work their way up the right side of the field, trying to go for those teal risers. The base might be in on that one, nothing to cap it though. Just over 10 seconds left. They complete the row. They're going to go for at least one more stack, but this one takes a tumble as well. Just a few seconds left on the timer. We'll take score and be back with our next run in just a few moments. A very solid start from Caution Tape Zulu. And Team 839Z starts their second programming skills attempt. In that far left corner, scoring purple risers. Looks like they have a stack completed. They place the middle riser into its goal. And then try to cap here on the near side for purple. Then they're going to move back across the center and try and build up another stack on that left-hand side before moving across the field and working on the teal. Looks like they have just over half of their time left. Third stack is in place, and now they move across to teal with a quick manual reset. base riser gets bumped into place before being capped off with the 2 pre-stacked. Now the center riser, and now the far riser. The base looks pretty close, but I think it's in, and now they're going to try and cap it off. That looks good to me. I think that's the whole run. Our referees will take a closer look, take a score, and then...
Signal.
And Team 839Z kicks off their driver skills run on the purple side of the field. They've placed the base riser. Looks like they've capped it off, and now they're moving down that left-hand side. They're taking a similar path so far to their programming skills runs. It seemed to work pretty well for them then. Hopefully it works out well for them now. Stack number 2 is complete, and this is where they diverge from their other plan and move across to the teal side of the field. They pop in that middle goal and start working on a stack on the far side. That looks to be in. They've got plenty of time left, so they're going to take it and try and build a tower of their own.
15 seconds.
Take that self-built tower and place it on the center. They need to complete this row to get credit for the stack.
3, 2,
And we'll take score. We'll be back in just a few moments with their next.
Three, two, one, go.
And our final team of the day, it's 839A Caution Tape Alpha, starts their first driver skills run of the day. They very quickly place the first teal stack of 3, start building the second stack. The cap is lifted up, the base is in position, and they back away and leave it in a scored state. Now they're going to move down to that near side corner, try and grab onto stack number 3. Now they're happy with that placement, and they have scored their third stack. They're moving across now, trying to grab an orange stack on their way. That looks to be in to me. Now onto the far center. Score a base stack to make a little bit of space. And start on the purple side. First stack is in position. And that is our first run. We'll take score and we'll...
3, 2, 1, go.
And our video issues have been fixed, and we are back with our next driver skills run for Team 839A. Very quickly assembling that far side teal stack, working on the middle teal stack now. Still tons of time left. They back up and toss that orange riser into a scored position, and then on the near side, they complete stack number 3. Now they're going to build up a stack here on the near side for orange. Just about half of their time left on the clock. Complete that orange row and then move their way down to the right side of the field. Stack number 5 is complete.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
And another stack. Need to complete the row though.
2, 1.
And they do. We'll take score and be back with their next run in just a few moments.
1, go.
And 839A starts their next programming skills run. very quickly make that first teal stack, then manually reset and depart on the next portion of their program. Looks like they're going for completing the row in the center and then making the stack at the end. And it snaps down into place properly. Now they're going to move over to the purple side of the field. Again, quickly completing the first stack and then moving on with a manual reset to the next portion of their programming path. And with just a few seconds left, they complete their next stack and back up into the orange. The referees will take a close look, take score, and we'll be back in just a few moments with more